but I know most of you, I know all of you. So hello, I'm Becky. I'm the current chair of the Membership Development Committee, and we're glad you're taking time out of your day to spend a little hour or so with us talking about nomination of members, which is so important to our organization. So this is being recorded, and we're going to also post, we're going to do a PDF of the actual presentation, which will be on the website too. So for those you might want to share this with, and for many who couldn't be here, that will be available on the website. Today's presentation will be made by myself, and Michael Kirschman joined us. He's the chair of the Urban Directors Committee, and then, as all you know, Jane, who is our executive director. So why does it matter that we're taking time to talk about this? It's because we know the importance of what we do with our work with the Academy, and so our vision is to inspire, influence, and advance our profession. Our mission is a distinguished group of park and recreation administrators, scholars, now advocates, which we'll talk about, committed to research, professional development, and best practices. Every nomination strengthens our profession, and this is how we help shape the future of our profession and professionals who continue to make a huge impact on their communities. Next slide. Some of the things we're going to talk about today, some tips on successful nominations. We'll talk about the key elements of the nomination forms, critical dates not to miss, who can nominate, and something that's changed from in the bylaws that were updated. Members now can nominate more than one, let's see, what was it? More than two people. And so they can do multiple nominations of individuals and write letters of support. So that changed. Before you could only nominate two, you're limited as a nominator to two people. So this gives the opportunity to allow you to have more than the limited number that we had previously. And then in terms of who may not nominate or support, the board members, the current board members, and those of us who are members of the Membership Development Committee. Next slide.
So
Jane, I think you have this one. Yep.
Yeah. So our goal has been for the last several years to reach 100% capacity of those categories of fellows which are indicated in the bylaws. So we also have a number of emeritus members, but they do not reflect the totals that are prescribed in our bylaws. So for professional members, we have a maximum capacity of 100. For educators, it's 25. For our new advocate category, which you all approved just last month in January, we have 13. And then urban directors, we can have a maximum of 12. So that gives the Academy 150 active fellows. And so we will be able to confirm with the membership how many openings we will have after March 31st. That's when your dues is due. And so we'll be able to tell, like Michael Kirschmer, the Urban Director Committee Chair, how many openings he has. And then we'll let the membership know about the number we have in the other categories as well. But certainly for the advocate category, we have 13 openings because this is the first year that we're offering this fellow category. So we're going to go through the criteria in each of these because we have made some minor adjustments. Again, the members approved minor adjustments per the bylaws. So any questions on our numbers here before we move on? Okay, Britt, next one, please. Thank you. So the first thing we want you to do when you reach out to a potential fellow is to confirm their eligibility, because we don't want someone to go through, and we don't want you to go through the time it takes to submit a nomination. We ask for a lot of information, and we want everyone to be successful. So that's why we started doing these membership Zooms, so our members know what the expectation is regarding the criteria for fellow membership. So for and I'm going to go through each category, and then Michael's going to cover the urban directors for us. So for professionals, practitioners, we're looking for those individuals who have high level administrative experience, and the areas are parks, recreation, conservation, personnel, training, budgeting. You all can read that slide. And they have to have a minimum of 15 years as of January 1st of the year nominated. This is really critical. The relevant job titles. We're looking for titles like general manager, executive director, director, deputy director, superintendent, administrator. We all know there's a wide number of job titles that are used in this profession. So if you talk to someone and in totaling up their 15 years, if they spent 7 years as a recreation supervisor, that is not going to count. That is not going to count. And so you have to really talk to your nominee and really understand where they fit in the organizational chart. And that's why on the submittable form, we ask people to list who their supervisor is. So the membership committee also looks at that when they're reviewing the number of nominees and doing the scoring for those. So we also ask that a professional practitioner hold a BS or BA degree. Those are mandatory requirements. Are there any questions about this? No? Okay, we'll move on. The next category to talk about is educators. And this one was slightly modified when the members approved the bylaws. So you have to have served as a recognized educator, again, in park, recreation, conservation, tourism, sports management, or related field for not less than 15 years as of January 1st. And again, the relevant position titles are professor, full-time faculty, or they can serve because we have a number of our educator members who are now moving into administration. They're moving into, dean positions and some of those kinds of things. So that also counts for our educator nominees as well. So
I
any
have a
questions?
question, Jane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Hi, June.
So, how are you all? Hi, everyone. The titles. So, for instance, can a person have been um, full-time faculty and then an associate professor? And in other words, can it be a total of 15 years? Or,
Yes.
okay, okay. Just wanted to be clear. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. Go on to the next slide, Britt, please. And this is our new advocate category. And so this is for those individuals who have supported the field through a variety of ways. Perhaps they've been involved in consulting, training, commercial enterprise, or advocacy with direct service benefit to the advancement of public parks and recreation, tourism, sport management, or related field. So this category came up in terms of opening up our membership because in the past several years we have had individuals who have certainly made an impact on the profession, but they didn't qualify because they had not any public administration experience. So this new category was created to allow those individuals who we know who have served this profession quite ably, again, as a consultant, as a trainer, working for a commercial enterprise, whatever, however they have got their years in. And so this one, we don't have any job titles for this because there's such a wide range of possibilities for this category.
And
So does anyone?
there is also, which we'll get to later, but we spent a lot of time on looking at the criteria for this. And so this is just how you become eligible, but there's definitely a lot of detail related to the rest of how you are able to be scored in the levels of different experiences that you have.
Right. Thank you,
In
Becky.
in in your opinion,
Mhm.
what is defined as a commercial enterprise? Can you give me a little bit more on that one?
It might be someone who's spent years working at Playcore or working for landscape structures are working for, those are manufacturers of
Mm-hmm.
firms, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they work for a firm that has done training in the field of aquatics, but they work
Mm-hmm.
for a private company.
or
Okay.
green play or,
And so
you
they
know.
can be so they're for profit. They can be for profit companies. That's
Yes,
not okay. Thank you.
definitely for profit.
Okay.
Yeah, good question, June. Thank you for asking that. Okay, we'll go on to the next slide, and this is going to turn over to Michael for a few slides.
Thank you, Jane. Good afternoon or good morning to everybody. Just really quick, going to cover the urban director category. There's 12 positions, as we mentioned, in this category. And we're really targeting professionals from high population, high density urban areas. We did recently make a change. We lowered the population. And so now, really, what we're looking for is someone with at least a minimum of 3 years' experience as the head of an organization, a public organization, in Parks and Recreation for any type of urban population center of 200,000 people or above. This is really good change. Our previous population was pretty high. Our previous population limit wouldn't have not even included Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or Cleveland. But now that we've loaded 200, and I think we'd all agree that those are urban cores. Now we kind of hit the top 130 urban centers in the country. Anybody there is eligible, and they can apply through this. And I should say also that any of these people in the urban areas can come in as a professional practitioner or an urban director, really depending on what they'd rather. It's really their preference. But we are targeting really, we want people with an urban background, urban setting to form their own group and kind of have the similar issues to become an urban director. Next slide.
So, Michael, before we go forward, I want to just make a finer distinction. For this one, you notice we say a minimum 3 years. That's 3 years in their current position.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to be sure everyone is aware of that.
They still need the 15 years experience in the field at a high level position, but we want them to have 3 years as a CEO of an urban system.
So that answers my question. Thank you.
So a CEO, and I was going to ask, would you consider a forest preserve system
The special
as one of
district.
those? Okay.
If the population, it could be a county system, city system, forest preserve district, a park district, park system. As long as their population meets this, they'd be eligible. Yes.
What their constitution, June, or whatever geographic area are defined in that district. If that population is over 200,000, then they would qualify. Or if they are the most populous district in that state.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about somebody in Illinois, then it would be the first, not the second.
Correct. Thank you, Jane. Yes, we've also included, there are some states that don't have any cities over 200,000, but if you're the most populous, serving the most populous population in that state, you'd also be eligible. The whole point is to really have, if you have urban cores, urban centers, you might serve a population of 300,000 people split over 2 counties, but if you're all suburban and rural, you'd probably want to go to the professional practitioner side. But again, it's up to you. If you meet this population and you meet this threshold, you could come in through as an urban director. Next slide. To come in as an urban director, of course, you need to be nominated by a current member. They can be an urban director committee or not. They can be any member in the academy. The committee reviews the background and forwards it, and then it'll go to the board of directors for approval. Jane, do you want to add anything to that?
Nope.
Pretty straightforward.
I just want to also make sure it's clear that the urban director nominations don't come through the membership development committee. They go directly to the urban directors committee, who then forward recommendations to the board of directors. So it's a separate review process and nomination process of submitting to the board of submitting to the urban directors committee, and they then would would forward nominations to the board of directors. It does not go through the membership development committee, just to be clear.
Right. And Cindy, you have a question?
Yes. Everything everyone said is true. However, they still are submitted through Submittable.
Correct.
We're going to go to that in the next
Oh,
slide.
okay, okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
good.
have that.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
got it. Thank you, Cindy.
All right. Next one. Britt, please. There you go.
So
So
there it
you
is.
there it is. You're just
So we
one
just-
step ahead of us.
Right. So it goes through Submittable. We ask for a please, not a 10-page resume, 4 pages or less, a quick letter stating why they're eligible, and then the 2 letters of support and the statement from the nominee. And of course, like anybody, they would need to agree to sign the Jedi Pledge.
So it's a very
Next
different
slide.
process. It's a very different process than for practitioner educators in the advocate category.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Any
next
questions
slide.
on this? Anyone? Any questions on this? Okay.
Next slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just as mentioned, the professional educator and advocate submission process also goes through Submittable. And you can read the various categories that have criteria listed with them, as well as how the scoring is weighted. And that actually, the checklist, which I'll bring up here in a minute, is already, the link is already on the website. So your experience, education, your leadership, honors and awards, presentations, the pledge to Jedi, the nomination statement, and why people are seeking membership, really critical to be very clear about that. The nominator letter, why they are recommending this person for membership. Again, not repeating what the nominee stated, but from their perspective as a nominator, their perspective about that nominee, why they would be recommending this individual, and then 2 letters of support, which can come from a state association executive director or president if the nominee does not know 2 academy members. Any questions? Okay. Next slide. And then here are the criteria weight. So you can see the categories and then the professional educator and advocate in terms of the percentages of weight. And this again is the detail of the checklist detail that describes each of those categories or the criteria. If you go to the membership general information page, there's a link to a PDF that brings up the checklist which gives you a lot more detail. Somebody raise their hand. Mike?
I didn't know if we wanted to mention how many spots we think will be available. I know we have all 13 for the advocate. We do anticipate we'll know for sure by April 1st, but anywhere from 1 to 3 and urban directors. I don't know if you wanted to add, Jan, how many you think will be available in the professional practitioner.
Oh, we had, as of, last time I looked, we probably will have, I think we have like 87 or so currently. So that means we would have as many as 13 roughly.
Yep,
Don't hold me to this. Don't hold me to
Right.
this. And then for educators, I believe we would have almost a dozen, almost 12 openings.
And you said we'll know that by the end of March, at least confirm, right?
Right.
Jane?
Right.
Confirm by
Yes.
the end of March once people, okay.
Right. So Becky, if I could add for each of these categories, the membership, this is just the membership development committee now does this, where for professional experience, everybody it's weighted 25% of that person's score is about their professional experiences. That's why we want to be sure that you work really closely with your nominee to be sure they have that high level of administrative experience before you submit their name for nomination, because we don't want to disappoint anybody. We don't want to disappoint anybody. We don't want people to get their feelings hurt, right? Because they weren't accepted into the academy. That's why, this nomination is so critical. But so the members of the membership development committee look at professional experience and they score that either a 1 or a 5. And they do that through each of these categories. And that's that checklist Becky talked about that tells you what the committee is looking for if they want to give a nominee a 5 under professional experience or give them a 2. This helps you understand that. So really look at that information and look at it with your nominee as well. Don't keep it from them, okay?
Quick question. Is there a maximum number of pages for this category, for the professional category?
So Diane, it's all online on Submittable. So they don't, the professionals, educators, and the advocates, they do not submit a resume. It's just the urban directors. So for the professional experience one, I think we have given them 5 slots where they can add experience. And then the rest of them are just open-ended where they can just add whatever they need. I hope I explained that okay.
No, okay. I'll go to Submittable and figure it out. So
Yeah.
Okay. All
I was
right.
going to say the submittables, the forms will be available. We'll get to that in a minute in terms of
Okay.
availability of those forms.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Any
Any
other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, Jane, you have the next one.
Okay. I have Britt go on. So another tip, we have like 6 tips, I believe. Tip number 3 is to collaborate with your nominee. I mean, sit down and have a conversation with them, either do it by Zoom or have lunch with them if they live near you, and you can get together personally and really talk about each of the criteria with your nominee. So that, again, there are no surprises for them, nor any surprises for you. And you can complete the form together where the nominee can start the form and then you can go on and you can upload your letter of support. And I think the nominator letter of support can be uploaded, but the other 2 letters of support, they should be sent to your nominee and have them upload them onto Submittable. So have them read their nomination really, really carefully before they hit that old submit button. And then this is, something we started during the COVID, and we're going to continue it, is that if they are elected, we're asking them to do a self-introduction video that we share those with the membership. So all of our members can get to know our new members pretty quickly. And that they will be installed at our general membership meeting in Philadelphia at the NRPA conference. And then we do have a couple of reminders here. We do have separate online forms, and you'll see those when the nomination open. They'll be submittable for educators, practitioners, advocates, and urban directors. They'll all be on the website. And then we also have, as Becky said, that PDF for each fellow, the educator, practitioner, and advocates. Those criteria will be up or are up on the website right now, which is what Becky was referencing a few minutes ago.
Right. Yes, the link is, if you go onto the general information website for members, there's a link that it's a PDF and it'll say, I think it's criteria and weighted scoring document that brings up then the various categories with a description of the category itself along with the weighted information.
Okay, any questions on this tip? Collaborate with your nominee. All right, the next slide, Britt, please. Okay, so another really critical part of the nomination process is help them answer why do you want to be a part of the academy? We are creating a culture of where we don't want checkbook members. We're not like other organizations where the more members they have, the more money they get in. We want our members to know that the expectation is that they will contribute. They will serve on a committee. They will, serve on a task force. And they will, stay informed of what's going on within the academy. So help them understand and help them articulate why it is they want to be a member of the academy, because this is looked at very critically by the membership development committee members as they review each of the applications. And they shouldn't just kind of reiterate what their resume says. We already have their background. We want to know their thinking around why they want to be a part of the academy. Okay. All right, next slide. And I think this is you, Becky, right?
Okay, so as mentioned, and we've said it a couple times, don't duplicate the information that you've put into the submittable. You really, in terms of your personal knowledge, of that the person that you're nominating is really critical, and to make sure that you really provide a focus on why you are nominating them. That's really important. Again, not duplicating whatever the experience is of that nominee that's already been shared, but your own personal perspective as to why they would be a great fellow in our organization. Next slide. So some key timeline dates, very important. We do already have the membership general information, membership information, as we've mentioned. It's up on the webpage now. You can look at the checklist of the criteria. But the nominations themselves will be open starting March 19th, and that's the submittable forms that Jane mentioned, where you can start to work with. Hopefully, you already will know some of folks already. I hope those of you who are on are thinking this, I'm sure, who could be great candidates for nominations. But it opens up March 19th through May 15th, 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Nominations will close. And then between that time, the Membership Development Committee will be reviewing all the submissions, and hopefully we'll have a great group of folks that we can then forward on to the board as a recommendation, which is then July 15th. They receive those recommendations. And then in that period of time, the board will determine successful candidates, and then the nominators are notified of the status between July 16th and 21st, and that's my responsibility to do that, to contact the nominators of the status. And then in August, date not yet determined, but the video that Jane mentioned earlier will be due, and then we'll have our formal induction at the NRPA conference in Philadelphia in September. And I
Right.
don't believe, do we have a date yet, Jane, or is it still
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah, I have to get out my calendar to look at that. And so this is also the timeline for the urban director nominations as well. So they open on March 19th, they close on May 15th. Michael has to have his committee do their review and submit their recommendation in time for the board of directors to receive those recommendations from that committee as well. Any questions on June raised her hand. Hi.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, we're delighted you're on the call. Thank you.
So I heard at the very beginning that we can nominate more than one person.
Yes.
Should we stay away from nominating more than one person in the same category?
No.
Okay.
You mean you're talking about like more than one educator, for example?
Yes, I have two educators in
Oh,
mind.
no, definitely. Go ahead.
That's
Yes.
fine. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
We'll give you
Yes.
a prize. We'll give you a prize, June, if you nominate, if you submit nominations, if you have more nominations than anybody else, I'll give you a prize when I see you.
Maybe something from Belgium or somewhere.
Maybe something from Belgium.
I have a quick
Excellent.
question. I have a
Yeah.
quick question. So I listened to what you said about the urban directors versus the professional category. So is it up to the nominator, or is it up to the person being nominated which category they want to go into? I'm a little confused about that.
Yeah, well, I think as you know, Michael was trying to articulate, particularly for the urban director, for that category, we are looking for individuals who are managing really large urban populations of 200,000 or more. But that individual, and maybe they haven't been in that position for 3 years, but yet they have 15 years of high-level experience in smaller agencies, they could then choose to come in the professional way. Does that help you,
Okay.
Diane?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
And so
Okay.
it's really, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, certainly the nomination process is a little bit less cumbersome, if you will, or less, going online with the urban directors because we ask for a resume, 2 support letters, a nominator letter.
Yeah.
So, and that's because those individuals, we also know that some of these large urban directors are not necessarily heavily involved in organizations like we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And if they're not a member now, do they have access to Submittable to work with the
Yes.
nominator?
Yeah.
Oh,
As
they
of
do.
March 19th, they can go online and they can begin to fill out that application.
All right. And that's through the Academy website?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All
On the
right.
member page.
All right. And they can, as
Michael,
a
oh, go ahead.
non-member, they can go in. That's
Yes, it's on the member page. It's public. Yes.
the okay. All right. I'll
Our
have to look at
website is wide open to everybody.
Okay. Got it.
And Michael, I'm not sure if you're able to maybe also post something on the general information, membership information page with some of the more of the descriptions of what your committee will be looking at, because that is, again, it is separate from the checklist I mentioned.
What we will be having, I'm sorry, Becky, we will be having an article in the next newsletter,
Okay,
which will describe this.
great.
And Cindy has her hand up, I believe.
Yeah, two things. One to Diane. There were some protocols put in place 2 years ago, and Michael Calvert, if you want to jump in on this too. To ensure that if someone is submitted as a practitioner and they should be an urban director or vice versa, that the committees can switch the applications to ensure that they're being evaluated appropriately. So don't stress about that if you're not sure where the person should apply. 100%. And the second thing is to whoever just made I think it was, I don't know if it was Becky or Jane just made the comment, I think it was Becky, about Michael Kirschman putting something up about the information for more people to understand about urban directors. On our website, on usually on the member page on the left hand, the right hand side has um, the description in paragraph form and the membership FAQs, which is awesome. And usually on the left-hand side, we have a direct link that someone can go to with the weighted criteria. So it's not just in the description on the right-hand side. And we've also had a Word document version of all of the questions in Submittable. So the people can just download that in advance and take a look at what types of information they need to complete. So if we could put that back up, that would really be helpful.
Yeah, we're working on that, Cindy. Thank you.
Okay. All right, great.
Okay, so any other questions?
Michael Calvert had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
Not a question. Good to see everyone. I was just going to follow up on what Cindy said. And basically what we did was we moved up the timeline and we're asking the membership committee as well as the urban directors committee, once all those nominations are in, not to dilly-dally with it, start to get to the process of looking through those nominations and the paperwork. Because yeah, we found a couple individuals in the past that maybe were nominated from for the urban directors when they should have been a practitioner or vice versa. So if we know early enough, we can make that transfer and send it over to the appropriate committee.
Anything else on this slide? Okay. Next slide. Okay.
And so here's
So
our, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go.
So
Go
here's
ahead,
our
Jane.
little final reminders, again, we're gonna, and here we say April 30th, the board of directors gives members a 1 month grace period. Usually that's like one or two people that we're just like, please, please send in your dues, please send in your dues. But the official renewal period is March 30th, so we'll confirm that. And then we strongly encourage nominations from underrepresented states and regions. We do, if you go on to we have a link here. We do have you all listed by your state, and we will be updating that. I noticed earlier today that we do have a couple of people we need to move around because they have moved around. So we do those all at once. So we're going to be working on that in the next couple of days. But you'll notice that, and Michael Ann is doing an analysis of that for the Membership Development Committee. But we know that we have quite a few members in the great state of Illinois. We have quite a few members in the great state of Texas. But for instance, in Colorado, we have maybe 6 members, but only one of them is an active, is a working professional. Everyone else is an emeritus. So, when you look at that member by state, and if anybody has a question about what someone is, their status, if they're still working or if they've moved into the emeritus category, you can please reach out to me or reach out to info@aapra.org, and we will respond back with you and tell you where that individual is. But we have probably more states where we're underrepresented in our membership, and we really want to change that. We really, really want to change that. I looked at South Carolina just a minute ago, too. South Carolina, we have like 5 members and 4 of them are educators. We have no practitioners in South Carolina.
Wow.
And we know that's a great state filled with some amazing
Yeah.
agencies and amazing professionals. So, we have some holes to fill. So that's what we would, and we're also looking for diverse candidates as well.
We would like a broad representation because we are a mighty but broad group of people. So want to have as much representation as possible. We do have states that currently do not have anyone. We don't have any members from some states. And I know that's what we're going to be working on as our committee. And Michael Ann's, as mentioned, is really looking to analyze that. But we would love to have all 50 states represented if we could do it.
Mhm.
So we're hoping that if you know someone or someone who might be interested or would like to nominate someone else, please share this information. Well, like I said, it'll be up on the website, the presentation itself, as well as we're continuing to add additional information to the webpage. And of course, by March 19th, all the information will be on the website so people can start to actually fill it out and hopefully submit.
Yeah, so start thinking about people that you know now. So glad to hear June say that she's got, several individuals in mind. And,
Great.
even if you are a member of the board of directors or you are a member of the membership development committee, you can put the bugaboo in somebody's ear and saying, "Hey, look, have you thought about, would you be interested in nominating this person for membership?" So, there are ways that we can get around that. You just can't, as we've shared, you just can't do the direct nomination yourself, but you can certainly influence, you can certainly persuade, cajole. I don't know what word, I don't know what word we want to use, but we really want to get our membership numbers up. And it takes you, the members, to do that. And I think
We're
we have one.
striving towards 100% capacity, which is a challenging order, but we're trying. We're going to try as best as we can.
Yeah. And I think, Becky,
I've
we have
got
one
a
more slide.
I
Oh,
do have an educator who he was a co-part visitor and I did a couple of visits with him and he's in Utah, which I see we do not have anybody from
yes.
Utah if it is
You are
Yes.
current.
correct.
He's been educator for over 25 years, even at the administration level, and so hopefully he's a good fit.
Yeah. Sounds
That's
Yeah.
great.
great. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
out west, we don't have anyone in Alaska, Hawaii, you mentioned Utah, or Wyoming.
Right.
And in the Northeast, no one in Connecticut or Rhode Island, no one in Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and no members in Iowa, Nebraska, or South Dakota. So we have some states there where we really have the opportunity. If you know anybody who knows anyone in those states,
Yeah.
who might be great candidates, that would be fantastic.
Well, I'll be
You
at
know,
the Utah conference week after next.
oh,
I'll be sure to
oh,
go.
Hey,
There you
oh,
go.
thank you,
awesome.
Michael. Perfect, perfect.
Plug us, Michael.
I think another great source of looking for individuals to nominate is to go to the NRPA website and look at those agencies that are CAPRA accredited.
Right.
Because if someone has gone through the CAPRA accreditation, or if COPARC, go on their website and see if a university has gone through COPARC, then in all likelihood, that's a very engaged, very dedicated, very passionate professional. And those are the individuals that we want to have into the academy. So those are a couple good
Absolutely.
sources of people that maybe we don't think about. So Britt, I think we have one more slide, if you don't mind.
There's our contact information. So again, this will be on the website again. You can share it with folks, and we're happy to try to help in any way we possibly can. And I think the last slide there, I think there's one last slide. There it is. To wrap up, you're not just nominating a person, you are shaping the profession of the future and of our academy and the profession. So we hope that people are motivated to help each other and help us bring in some fantastic people into our organization to keep our profession growing and evolving and helping lead the way. So any other questions or comments?
Could you go back to just the other slide real quick
Sure.
with the contact information?
Oh,
sure.
yes.
I need
Oh,
a little
where to
bit.
go? There it
I'm going
is.
to make a
All
note
right.
here.
Sure.
Michael, I'm going to send you an email. I wanted to talk just maybe 5 more minutes about the urban, um, the urban director.
Sounds good.
So I'll just send you an email, and maybe one day next week we can Zoom for maybe a couple of seconds.
Sure thing. Sounds good.
Yeah, I just need the contact info if you have it.
I'm trying to get back there. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Are you looking for contact info for all the people?
Yeah, for a couple of ones on this call. So,
Okay.
but if it's on the website, I can go there too.
This presentation will be uploaded as a PDF,
Mhm.
and so you would be able to see it too. Any sense when it might be uploaded? I don't know how long it'll take.
I have to make the PDF and send it
Okay.
off to Britt, so it'll be a couple
Friday
days.
at the soonest. Yeah, our website's in the middle of moving. So let me see. Here we go. Let me see.
There it
Oh,
is.
here it is.
Bigger.
Oh my gosh, I can't read it.
Just a minute, there it is.
There it is. Ah,
Take a picture with your phone, Diane, and then you can blow
yeah,
it
I
up.
know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I should do.
Or if you tell me who you want, I can send you those email addresses, or I can, yeah.
I think I got it, and I'll find it.
They're all
Okay.
members. You can go into Basecamp and
Uh-huh.
look them up.
Ping them.
Ping them.
You can ping them.
Yeah. Love ping.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Any other comments, questions, thoughts?
Good presentation. Good. This is helpful because a
Well,
lot
thanks,
has
Diane.
changed since I last nominated somebody. So a lot has changed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Well,
all right.
thank you. Thank you guys again for